You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Now come along, you lot. We need all the help we can get. Draguna, McCoy, Dracorum, Sanctus D. Draguna, McCoy, Dracorum, Sanctus D.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
And we are back. After a short hiatus, we are back. Hello, Mr. Wilson.
Draguna, Mocoides, Dracorum, Satis D.
Okay, gesundheit.
Welcome to Moviesucktastic. Yes, I'm Scott, that's Joey, and we're reviewing Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Yeah, we are. You know what's funny?
You don't sound happy about it. You don't sound happy about it.
I loved this movie when I was a kid, and the key word is the key phrase is when I was a kid.
Now, I want to underline that not only did I love this film as a kid, but my friend's father worked at Kodak back in the 80s. So at one of his birthday parties, they had 8mm reels, film reels that they played for the kids. And one of the movies that they played was just the soccer scene. I
still enjoy that scene.
Yeah. I mean, it reminds me of Animal Olympics and all that nonsense. Yeah. But yeah, as just to underline the whole idea of, loved this film as a kid, and I watched it a lot as a kid, and I didn't really think much about it, beyond just watching it as a kid.
Yeah, and on the Disney Channel back in the 80s, they used to chop up this film, and they would show a lot of the animated scenes. And that's what they would do. They would show like little excerpts, and they would chop that up, and they would single serve that 5-minute, 10-minute, 7-minute segments back in the 80s. And I remember watching those too, and I love that. But as an adult watching this, I
think I can sum it all up for you.
Yeah.
By reading the IMDb synopsis.
Oh, please do.
It's one sentence. It's the one sentence breakdown of the film that I think really should. It's like, all right, an apprentice. I couldn't have done it better myself. I was thinking like, there's got to be a one sentence for this, and I looked at IMDb and I was like, shit, they did it. So, an apprentice witch, 3 kids, orphans, and a cynical magician con man search for the missing component to a magic spell to be used in defense of Britain in World War II. Yeah. It's a kid's film.
Yeah.
What's going on? And it's based on a kid's book.
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, it is.
So back in the day, Disney, when they were trying to do more live action stuff, and they were trying to do it more in a serious manner, and they actually doubled down in the late 70s and early 80s with that. They were trying to make these films that were, kids could watch them, but they were definitely geared for a more mature audience.
Well, it's just like the films today. I mean, the parents are going to take the kids, so you make sure that the parents can enjoy it too. That's why you have the musical numbers. That's why that's why you have certain actors or actresses. I personally grew up watching these Disney films. I remember being a young child watching The $1 Million Duck, I think is one of the earliest ones I remember watching, because I got in trouble during watching it. But that's not a discussion.
Were you a bad boy?
I was kind of, not intentionally, just something bad happened. A little rambunctious, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember these. I remember I grew up with these films, but then just look back at some of this shit and it's like, what the fuck were these people thinking? I don't know.
Fever dreams and acid trips, man.
All right, first of all, let's start with the name of the film, Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Yes.
How do you feel about the name?
I mean, it's an appropriate title because both of those things are very apparent in the film. Although the broomstick part, I think, is only in 2 scenes, 3, something like that. 2, right?
2.
Pretty much the beginning-ish and the end.
So my problem though is that it's supposed to be like 2 different things, but they're both referencing the witchcraft part of it. I want to underline witchcraft.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure. Absolute witchcraft. No hiding it. At one point, there is blackmailing going on about how they're gonna reveal her secret as a witch if he doesn't get stuff.
Those rascally orphans. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, governor.
So I just feel like the title should have been a bit more referential to the aspect that there's Nazis in this kid film. So I have a couple of suggestions, or a few.
Okay.
So instead of Bedknobs and Broomsticks, I got 4. I got 4. I'll go with Nazis and Witchcraft. Basic.
Okay.
But I mean, how about sacrilege and swastikas?
Okay. Sure.
All right. World War Witch.
Okay.
Or Broomstick Blitzkrieg.
Okay. All right.
I'm throwing those out. If Disney decides to take any of them, they can use them.
To remake this film.
Yes. Now, as you heard from that basic line, I don't really have to put any more emphasis on the fact that the hero of the film is a witch performing witchcraft.
Correct.
And the bad guys turn out to be the actual Nazis. So before we go into the film, we haven't done this in a while, but I think it's very appropriate right now. I want to go to the parents' guide.
Oh, the good old parents' guide.
Because
it's funny, when you say that. Obviously the Nazis are the bad guys, and she is not, but perceived to be, especially by the kids in the very, very beginning. It's so interesting that a movie like this gets made, and it's a kids' film. It's part musical, part animated, part adventure, and nobody really thought anything of it. It's more of a serious. It takes a more serious take on war, or I shouldn't say it takes a more comedic take on a serious thing like war.
They were making some dark shit for kids in the 70s and 80s. I just got to say it.
Yeah.
And I'm what the end result of that.
And the animation from this is as close to probably the Sword in the Stone as you're gonna get animated wise.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think the 2 movies were maybe, when did Sword in the Stone come out? 59.
Oh.
Something like that. 1960, 1950. It's we're talking a decade in between the 2, and they probably had a lot of the same animators and things like that because it was very similar style of animation. And I love the Sword in the Stone, even as an adult. I still love that one. It's one of my favorites.
I agree.
So go ahead. Parents' Guide.
Parents' Guide. So, all right. So, sex and nudity.
Okay.
None.
Yeah.
However, there are notes. Picture of a woman in a bathing suit at one point. And at one point, the main actress is in the same suit, walking in a dream and singing. Would you consider the leotard she wore a bathing suit?
No, and at no point would I consider Angela Lansbury sexual.
Okay. All right. Angela Lansbury, I want to underline this. Angela Lansbury is 45 years old during the filming of this film. And for me, she's always been an old lady. But 45 is not that old.
No, that's younger than I am right now.
Right. But I also want to point out that Angela Lansbury apparently does not do her own stunts.
No.
and her stunt double is half her age.
Oh,
Noticeably younger.
Yeah.
Every time there's a split, I'd be like, how did I not notice this when I was a kid? Well, it's like that's a different person entirely. It's a young person. That's a pretty young girl. Even the motorcycle scenes, that's not her driving. She don't do she'll put goggles on and stuff. She's not driving that thing up the hill.
no, certainly
She's a professional.
not. Yes.
But yeah, Angela Lansbury in a leotard is not sexual in any way, shape, or form. No knocking the great actress. So 2 more quick notes on sex and nudity. None, but when Miss Price casts a spell on household objects, her nightgown waltzes around with Mr. Brown.
Come on.
And she claims that, quote, she will not be held accountable for its behavior. So that's a note just in case you don't want your kids seeing something that explicit. Right. And then when under sex and nudity, if it starts off with a cartoon lion, just stop the sentence.
A cartoon lion.
A cartoon lion roars so loudly that the clothed cartoon bird standing nearby has his clothes blown off. It's an ostrich.
And it's a cartoon.
But don't worry, he covers up his naughtiness with his wings immediately. Because he's a naked ostrich. All right. I don't want to spend too much time on this. There's not a lot. Violence and gore.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think it is?
Probably the knights at the end, hitting people and bonking them and swinging swords.
The vast majority say none.
Okay.
But we have 3 notes.
Oh, okay.
Bookman's assistant threatens to use a knife on Professor Brown. I kind of agree with this one. When he's talking to the little kid and he pulls out the big knife, I was like, holy shit. This is talk about Disney just loves putting children in danger in the 80s. That's all they fucking did. We'll talk more about that.
I mean, the fact that they're orphans means that they've in some way lost both their parents.
Or any kind of family.
Disney doubled down on that.
Yeah, and there's 3 of them, so there's got you don't get 3 kids out of one. There's definitely a family base there before they lost the parents.
Yep.
All right, so the other 2 more, comic violence, animated creatures play football. All right, that's animated violence. 3, Nazis invade a house with guns. They look for the little boy but don't find him.
Wow. All
right. That's it for violence. So they didn't even mention your thing with the knights bonking people on heads and stuff. That's not violence.
I mean, one dude got hit so hard he couldn't get his helmet off.
That helmet dented is like, dude, that guy's not walking. He shouldn't be walking.
Not only is that guy has got brain damage.
That head's caved in. He should just be twitching on the ground.
Convulsing.
Okay.
All right.
Profanity. Vast majority say none. But 3 notes. 2 uses of damn and bloody. 1 use of shut up, my goodness, coward, and brute.
My goodness made the list.
My goodness, coward, and brute made the list. And then
I would love to meet these people.
No, I do. No, I don't.
Because
I don't.
I would just once. Just so that I could say that I did it.
All right, alcohol, drugs, and smoking.
Alcohol, drugs, and smoking.
Got anything? You remember anything?
Alcohol. I don't remember anyone drinking alcohol. Smoking.
How about smoking?
Yeah, I think one of the. I don't even think it was a scene. I think it was somebody walking by, like in the alley when they were trying to find the book. Okay,
so you're a horrible parent.
Am I?
No, I'm sure you watch this alone. You're not making your kids watch this.
I didn't watch it. I started watching it and I was like, maybe I'll make the kids watch it. And then I got about half an hour in. I'm like, they're gonna hate this. No, they're gonna do not. No. All right, so there are two
things that you missed as an eagle-eyed parent watching this film.
Right.
You obviously didn't notice the anthropomorphic fish smoking a cigar.
Oh, when they first meet, yeah. Okay, when
In
they go into
the lagoon of Babumbu.
yeah, yes.
I know I had to write that down because like I'm gonna Mabumba. God damn stupid fucking names. And the other one is Miss Price and Professor Brown drink wine at dinner.
God.
All right, and then the last one, frightening and intense scenes.
Maybe when the lion, the king is running towards them as they're trying to get away.
So
the knife, the knife, the guy that pulls a knife on the kid, and then threatens to cut the Angela
the littlest
Lansbury's
child. The
yeah,
littlest
but
child,
also he
were...
pulled a knife on what's his face, Mr. Brown.
Yes, Mr. Brown, Mr.
And
Emilius.
then the knights at the end just swinging swords and bonking people in the head.
All right. So here's what I get from the IMDb's parents guide.
What about the one night? What about the one night?
Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. Let me get this finished. Frightening and intense scenes. Survey says none, but one note: mild prejudice against Germans around the time of World War II may offend some viewers.
What?
However, this is very unlikely. Nothing unsuitable for children, considering this movie is aimed at a family audience.
I changed my mind. I don't want to meet any of these people.
First of all,
may offend Germans.
You know what? You gotta sympathize with the Nazis, right? You want to be a Nazi sympathizer, right?
Hey, there's good on both sides.
Good on both sides.
Good on both sides.
Little prejudice towards the Nazi soldiers, don't you think?
Oh my God.
Probably because he calls it the worst they call them are Jerry's.
Yeah, right.
That's literally the worst they call them. Maybe nasty people or something like that, or brutes. Oh, that's right, brute. Someone's called a brute.
Nobody in the notes put in the one night goose stepping, kicking the Nazi in the ass by goose stepping.
I wanna underline that not only did no one say bring up the fact that exposing children to Nazis might be a bad thing, but not one mention of the witchcraft. I would have thought that would have been the main trigger. How is this film not just? How are they not just? By the way, they're teaching witchcraft, and one of the negative characters in the film is a priest.
Yeah,
a land grubbing priest that you're not supposed to like.
Yeah,
Roddy
McDowell.
The hero. Miss Price, the hero, is at best, I wrote this down, at the very least, she is an agnostic misanthrope. Practicing witchcraft to help the Nazis. No, don't to help the fight against the Nazis.
The war. Yes.
To stop the war, to help the war, and that's another thing too. I did notice there's an overwhelming sense of British pride throughout this film that I was totally oblivious to as a kid. So I just like that whole dance of the four nations part during the amazingly long Portobello Road sequence.
Yeah, listen. I watched the 2 hour and 20-minute version because of you. I should have watched the 1 hour and 50-minute version.
I almost contacted you and warned you not to watch the full one. I was like, no.
I had to watch it. He has to watch it. You bastard. And now you're going to challenge me to something this week? You get to double down?
I remember... I didn't go back and watch the original or compare notes. But just going off of my childhood memories, I remember 3 songs in the film. I remember the bobbing along, bobbing along at the bottom of the beautiful briny sea. I remember that one from a kid. Portobello Road, which wasn't as long as the uncut, but even then was still insufferably long.
Right.
And then what's the other? Oh, and then of course the substitutionary locomotion.
Well, now, so I didn't remember the song that he sings where he's talking about doing everything with flair.
I don't remember.
I don't remember that. Now, I don't know. It could be in the theatrical cut that I have. I just don't really remember it.
Well, all right. Let's come to an understanding here that we both know that there is a cheer up Charlie moment in most musicals.
Yes, there is.
Yes, so we tend to skip, and the extended version has a lot of cheer up Charlie moments.
Yes, it does.
Like I didn't cheat. I watched this through without fast forwarding, but even Portobello Road was like, I know they're still dancing. I know they're still dancing. Yeah. and again, like what I meant by the Four Nations dance is like they basically they were trying to represent all the nations that were under England's rule at the time. And it's like, that feels a little imperialistic now to me. I don't know. I didn't even realize what I was watching back then. But now I'm watching, okay, yeah, now they're making them dance for them. Okay, this is good. This is good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I started, there's 8 songs in this film.
8?
There's 2 missing ones that they lost all footage of. They cannot find it at all. They have the songs because they're available on the full soundtrack. But there's 2 songs that are just like they just lost the footage. That's it.
So
no one
this
wanted.
This movie's even longer?
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 more songs where they
like,
lost footage of. I mean, this movie just based on that alone, this movie's anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes longer.
Yeah.
That's a 2.5 hour movie.
As a kid, I liked the spell song. I really did. Tricuna McCoides to Tricorum Satis D.
Well, sure.
And I it's fun, and I just but just what? But, all right, opening credits.
Yeah.
So when I think of England, World War II, orphans, and witchcraft, I think medieval tapestry.
It's obviously something that comes full circle with the way the movie ends. I don't know.
It just threw me off. That's all. So the opening credits. I'm going to make a very bold statement here, and if you hear this and think I'm correct, please let me know. Okay. But I think Ari Aster.
Ari Aster. It's one of the kids, right?
No, that's the director of Midsummer.
Yeah. Oh, wait, Midsummer?
Yes.
Wow. I thought his name was pronounced differently. Anyway, go ahead.
I might be mispronouncing it. I might be an asshole. I'm sorry.
No.
But I believe that the director of Midsummer stole the idea of having the tapestry explain the whole movie from this film. Prove me wrong. That's it. My gauntlet's in the ring.
I wouldn't fucking doubt it. He's a weird dude, and I love him for it.
Hey, granted, the tapestry in this film is less disturbing, but I mean, there's still some disturbing. There's like the gargoyle heads on a cat bodies and stuff. There's a little witchcraft flair there.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not staring at a wall with a picture of a person in a bear suit, I think you're okay.
I wrote this quote down from the film just because I thought it was weird to have as a quote in a kid's film was that's what you'd say if you was a Nazi, governor. Because preparing for a Nazi attack is funny. I don't know why it never occurred to me it was a bad idea as a kid. Like this shouldn't be happening. And so 3 orphans.
Yes.
End up they divvy them up among the townspeople that are left, which is like the old army brigade and the women. That's it, because everybody else is out ready to die in World War II, because it was a horrific war where shitload of people died.
Yeah.
you know, the fun background story behind the film. and so they end up assigning the 3 orphans to the witch.
Right, which she didn't want. She said, I can't do this.
Right. Because she's a misanthrope. And I really thought she dropped the whole I don't like kids thing really too quickly. Almost like I really thought there should I think this film needs to be remade. Rob Zombie needs to remake this film, but with me as a guiding hand.
Oh, okay.
So we can prevent. But I just feel like it should, like, there's darker aspects of the film that I think could be explored, and one of those is the fact that, again, she's an agnostic, if not atheist, if not satanic, witchcraft, a witch, a misanthrope, living out in the middle of nowhere, doesn't like people, doesn't like kids, wants to be left alone, live alone. She wants to save the country, but she just doesn't want to be bothered. This is somebody that you don't just suddenly team up with a group of people. And I know that that's the part of the film, but she's not resistant to it, like, at all.
No,
like
not at all.
Like when she gives them the I was like, wait a minute, you have 3 orphans that tried to run away and are threatening to run away. And so to bargain with them, you gave them a traveling spell?
I mean, she based it on value. She said, this should be worth plenty, because the one kid is like, listen, we're going to tell everyone you're a witch if you don't give me shit.
But for me, it's like, okay, she's hoping they leave.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But you can't read into that, because the first thing she tells them before she goes to answer the door with the hopping vicar is, she says, like, don't try that spell, but until I get there. Which for me, there's that dark side of, like, but by all means use that. I'll come back and see if you're still here in 5 minutes. Just problem solved. Now I can get on with my work. Just there's aspects of this. Again, the priest is a bad guy in the film for no reason whatsoever. He has no bearing on the third act of the film. He's really just there to laugh at for the first and second act. So we're just mocking religion openly here. It's a Disney film.
It's interesting that Disney didn't put swastikas on any of the Nazis. They had the cross.
Did.
No, I thought they just had the cross thing. And then they had the red and black color, like striped colors.
But they had swastikas in the opening tapestry.
Oh,
I don't remember.
I don't remember that.
I don't know if I was paying close enough attention to call you on that. So you might be right. But even they were still yelling in German and pointing guns and stuff.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. They were yelling in German and all that stuff.
Like third act, somebody's like, maybe we should play down the Nazi angle. Maybe lose the swastikas. Yeah. Makes sense. I can see that.
Yeah, I just didn't notice any swastikas on the uniforms. I saw the crosses, and
I'd have to go back and
look. the general and all that, and some of the soldiers, they had like red and black, almost like pins, but they were larger, and it had like stripes on it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you were talking about the animation. I like the animation as well, but the one thing I really liked was the acid trip traveling sequences.
Yeah, which they didn't rip that off of Willy Wonka at all.
Well, what year was Willy Wonka?
I want to say it's the same year. This came out in 72?
This film I'm double checking my notes right now.
This came out in 71. And Wonka
71.
was when?
I don't know. You're the number guy. I don't know the numbers.
Oh, it's really close. Wonka might have come out the same year.
But they weren't like... They're the kind of effects that actually... They remind me of Mike Jitlov.
Willy Wonka came out the same year.
Yeah, it's the same kind of special. I don't think anybody ripped anybody off. It's just...
Well,
that's where the technology was at that point.
Let's take a look. Willy Wonka came out June 30th, 1971.
Uh-huh.
And Bedknobs and Broomsticks...
Well...
came out October 1971. So Wonka was first. And it came out November in the It came out October 71 for the UK and November 71 for the US. So Wonka came out first. I'm not saying anyone ripped anyone off, but listen, just on the timeline alone, I could say it and not be wrong.
All right, so the film you should be comparing Bedknobs and Broomsticks to is Mary Poppins.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's both Disney. And as a matter of fact,
They were both filmed at the same time.
Julie Andrews was offered Bedknobs and Broomsticks first.
Right.
And
she turned it down.
Because she felt that she was going to be typecast, and then realized that her whole career, for all the popularity that she got after Sound of Music and Mary Poppins, was because of Disney. And she said, you know what, I'm going to do it. And then they already cast Angela Lansbury, so they couldn't use her.
Yeah. See, you can't let that stuff go.
No.
And I really wish Julie Andrews had played this character too, because if you think about it, Bedknobs and Broomsticks is a prequel to Mary Poppins.
Oh, because she's flying around and shit like a witch.
Yeah, just think about it. I mean, all right, but just to recap the whole film, so she takes the orphans to go find she learned all this magic through a mailing course. She paid on in version,
From Mr. Brown.
The old yeah, it's like an online course but with paper, and she didn't get the last spell, which she really wanted to use against the Nazis. So they used their traveling spell that the orphans didn't use to escape, to find him, and then they team up with him because he's a con man. And
well, they didn't know that yet.
Well, they kind of know when they meet him. Let's be fair.
Oh, when they meet him, absolutely. But when they're going to find him, they're like, "This is the guy. We got to find him."
So we're past that now. So they team up, and then they go to find this spell and everything. But then he gets chicken at the last minute about having a family and runs off. But luckily, he was fantasizing about Angela Lansbury in a tutu, which is a very weird thing to be fantasizing about.
Yeah.
And so then he ends up coming back because the only thing that stirs the pride of a coward is Nazis. Not everybody fights. When Nazis show up, everybody's willing to start fighting. That's it. They're the ultimate bad guy, which I can understand they used in the film. But so if this is a prequel to Mary Poppins, so she's learning witchcraft. She meets a man, and they kind of fall in love and get these orphans. So what I'm saying is, what happens is like the end of the film is the con man decides, oh, I'm going to become a upright citizen now. So what does that involve? I'm going off to war. He's gonna die. He is not coming back alive. I can tell.
Yeah, because God forbid they insinuate that the two of them are going to have sex.
She goes right to war, and he probably doesn't even make it to the actual battlefield. Something happens on the train or something, and then the orphans get swooped up by an uncle or aunt or something. So what does that mean? Now she's a witch and she misses taking care of kids, and she's like, oh, that was fun. So maybe I should travel. She sells the house to the vicar, and instead of she got rid of the broom and everything, but so she starts using the umbrella because maybe she finds a memory spell. I don't know. But we'll finally get rid of this whole thing where she can't remember anything. And then she, as she becomes more mature, she's like, okay, I'm going to become a nanny. And then it goes into Mary Poppins. And that pisses me off because that means it never occurred to me until I was 50 that Mary Poppins is a fucking witch.
Really? With all this shit that she did in that movie, making things move around and flying?
I never thought witch. That's what I'm saying. But then after rewatching this, I'm like, wait a minute. She got that prequel because it's perfect. Oh shit, Mary Poppins was a witch. Instead of a broom, she had the umbrella. She just didn't give. And she even had her nonsense words. But at this point, she didn't need Amelius's words. That's almost like that's the whole Expialidocious song is like a fond memory of Amelius.
Right.
She changed her name, of course, because Mrs. Price is a boring name. Amelius is good, but like Professor Brown and Miss Price, very dull names. Very dull names. I thought about getting the children's book and reading it. Yeah, but I realized I never read the children's book as a kid, so I don't care. It's the movie that we're talking about.
True. Very true.
Yeah. I mean, did you hate it? Or did you just
I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it like I did when I was a kid.
I got a little misty during the magical sequences in the third act. I remember watching those as a kid and just loving them. And really, the ghost armor like the special effects, all practical effects.
Oh yeah, no,
Really
I thought that was even
impressive
now. I was like,
shit.
this is really well done.
Yeah, I mean, don't the fact that the green screen was a little off, not even a concern. Ignore that nonsense. It was just the mechanics of like having the arms and stuff fly off, and yeah, you can see the strings a lot of times, but that's because they didn't anticipate 4K. They worked fine back in the old days.
4K.
Chill. Yeah, it's just, but yeah, very startling to me. Just rewatching this is like, wow, witches and Nazis. Is this really Disney? What's wrong with you? Why do you keep putting kids in danger?
It's what Disney does, man.
Yeah, I just even when they meet the animals, it's like, oh, we may not get out of this alive. Really? This is a kid. The guy with the when the old guy pulls out the big knife, and then the smarmy guy with the pencil thin mustache is like, "Can I use my own knife? You know, just personal preference. It's like, oh, damn it, this is creepy as shit. Those are young children. They're not like teenagers. This isn't a young adult film. You know, they're the youngest kid. The oldest is like what? He's 11, going on 12. I was assuming the girl wasn't the oldest.
I don't know who's.
I think the boy was the oldest at 11 or 12. If she's older, she's only older by a year.
Yeah, they're all. They're
talking
all
about
in
not
the 10
believing.
to. They're all. Well, the one young kid it's like 5, but 6. But
yeah,
the other two are between 10 and 12, and that's it.
Right, but she's got to be younger because that whole I'm pretty sure the Age of Not Believing song was not in the version we saw as a kid. I don't remember them singing while they were getting ready to go on the bed. Am I right on that?
I don't remember that either.
Okay, so maybe let's just say we're right. I'm cool with that.
Okay. Sure. Why not?
I forget if I was going for a point with that, but
I don't
know. Anyway, yeah, I just it's definitely worth watching, but I don't think I would watch the extended version again. If you like musicals, then definitely seek out the extended version because there's a lot of that. Portobello. Oh my God, Portobello Road. How long was that? Was that half an hour? Was that the whole second act? Oh my God.
It was long.
I'm like Get Out, clawing at the fucking arm of the chair. It's like, come on, please, please. Portobello Road. Man. But I mean, definitely not the worst Disney film.
No.
And ignoring the griping about the music, I think it's fun. I just think it's, oh goddamn motherfucker. Ignore that. I find it weird that this film never got any controversy. I've never heard any controversy about it, like old or new. Some of the dumbest films have received controversy, and this one really, I think, deserved it. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. It's
definitely an underdog to Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins is definitely, a better known film than this one.
Well, you know what's interesting? David Tomlinson, the guy that plays Mr. Brown, and
Mary Poppins.
Also Mary Poppins, yeah. I get a lot of Anthony Hopkins vibes from him. I don't know why, but the more fun Anthony Hopkins, not the serious Anthony Hopkins. I don't know if it's maybe because they're from the same part of the UK. I don't know.
It's that stiff British delivery. Yeah. So not only is he in Mary Poppins, but so if Julie Andrews had been 2, it could have been like, he reminds me of Emilius. Maybe it was so. Maybe she brought him back with a spell and she couldn't figure it out. I don't know. No, that's too far. Sorry. There's kids with a family. Okay, don't mess with their family, Scott. God damn it.
Damn you.
Now, I think nostalgia is riding the ratings in IMDb for Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Has to be.
But am I missing? I'm sorry. Did I jump the gun there? Did anything else you wanted to talk about the film?
No.
You don't want to sing
no
Traguna,
no
McCoydes. Substantiary locomotion. I love that song.
So you're right. I mean, it's currently a 7.0, a perfect 7 on IMDb, which, that's a high score.
Hang on. Before we rate it, I got a very serious question to ask.
Oh, sure.
This is a British film, right?
Yes.
As far as like, it takes place in England.
Yes.
They don't really stray from England that much, except when they go to the Isle of Mabumbu.
Nabumbu. Yeah.
Why do they keep calling it soccer?
Oh, instead of football?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
maybe
kid says
because
football once, but
yeah, maybe
me.
maybe to cater to both the Europe and American audiences. So they got the word. He says soccer once, and then they say, he says football once, and then they say soccer. So you get both.
It just feels weird to me. I don't know why.
I mean, in 1971, football was and still is the biggest sport in America. So if they kept calling it football, I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably it was probably just a marketing decision.
And my other favorite line from the film. I could do with a bit of lolly.
Yeah, governor.
And it's weird, as a kid, I understood what he meant. So yeah, I could too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see what you're throwing down.
Yeah, it's just so dark. The kids go right to blackmail. British children's books are just fucked in the head. Well, their childhoods, they grew up in wartime. Their childhoods were just fucked over, and they're just like, they're scarred for life. And then the British society scarred the next generation after that, just out of spite. And it's just dark, horrible, and I love them, every single one. But it's just, my God, it's so dark and disturbing. So many children in danger.
Yeah.
The Nazis are she's shouting down off of her broom, make sure the children are away from the battles. Why aren't they fleeing? Why aren't they watching? You're a horrible parent. No wonder they take them away from you before Mary Poppins. Sorry. Anyway.
It's okay.
7 stars.
7.
Currently.
7 out of 10.
How are you feeling about that? It won 1 Oscar for best visual effects.
Wow. I did not know that. I mean, if I went with a 7, it would be because of nostalgia and the fact of how much I loved it as a kid. But as an adult, I think I would go a 6 on this. But
you Scrooge.
There's enough enjoyable stuff. I mean, no, there's enough enjoyable stuff to give it a 7.
I feel like me too. I want to give it a 7 because it's weird how they make Nazis and witchcraft like a wholesome family film. It's
right.
Just it is a Disney miracle, really. I mean, how did this slip under the radar and no one's bitching about it? No one ever bitched about it that I've ever heard of. You know, if I'm wrong, please let me know. But Jesus, just I would go 7 too. I mean, if we just ignore, let's just ignore the extended version and give it a 7 based on the theatrical release.
Let's do that.
Yeah. So no whining about the that stuff. All right, I'll do that. Now, this really got.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. After you.
No, I was going to say, are we moving into your challenge?
Yes. See, this film raised a huge nostalgia. Well, let me give my setup first.
Okay.
All right. I'm filled with a huge nostalgia of Disney films. Like I said in the opening, I grew up watching Disney films.
I only have one guess.
Let me finish. Give me just a little build up. I'm sure someone listening doesn't know already.
I'm positive of it. Go ahead.
I have this love-hate relationship with Disney films because I did grow up with them and I did love them. Stupid kid, I'm watching anything they're giving me. But going back and watching some of them, it's my God, this is some dark, depressing shit. How did I, survive my childhood watching this stuff? And I felt I wanted to go with the theme of putting children in danger because I think we all agree that's the best thing to do in a family film.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, is put children in. So what do you think I'm challenging you to?
Are you challenging me to Peach Dragon?
You bet I am.
Fuck you. Of course. I mean, of course you are.
And I'm making my family watch it with me this weekend.
Ooh, no, we're at the beach house this weekend. I don't want to ruin a good time. As a matter of fact, I'm leaving for the beach Saturday morning. I'll be leaving Saturday morning, but because I'm working on my bathroom. But God, no. Yeah, no, it's Pete's Dragon is also a 2 hour and 20-minute movie, and that's not an extended cut.
No.
It's not an extended cut.
No.
I think that's the standard cut.
Are you sure it's that long? I thought it was shorter.
2 hours 17 or 20, if I remember correctly.
Let me check. I'm checking my copy right now.
Maybe there is a director's cut.
Yeah, there is, but the theatrical cut is an hour and 45, and if you want, we can stick to that, or at least you can stick to that.
So IMDb has it. Okay. No. IMDb has it at 2 hours and 8 minutes, but I could swear there's a longer cut than that.
Hang on, let me see what I'm pretty sure I have the director's cut too, because I think I was surprised when I was like, oh, there's a director's cut. Come on. All I'm seeing is the theatrical cut.
2 hours 8 minutes.
Oh, hang on. Here it is.
Is it a TV cut? I bet it's a TV cut.
No. Hang on. I've got two of them, but it's not giving them to me in the right order. That's the theatrical cut. Oh, they're labeled different. Hold on. Everything's screwed up. I'm not on the P's yet. I'm still on the L's. We'll figure it out. But if you want I know the theatrical cut is an hour and 45 minutes. So if you want to stick to that, you can stick to that. I have the extended cut, which is at least 15, 20 minutes longer, I think.
No. I'm going to do the theatrical. Thank you.
Okay.
But it says it right here. It says right here that the box office was bad for Peach Dragon, and its original runtime is 2 hours and 15 minutes, and it got cut down to 2 hours and 8 minutes. But then you have an even shorter cut than that. How long is your cut?
Mine says an hour and 45 minutes, and it says theatrical cut.
According to this, the theatrical was 2 hours and 15. Because of the disappointing box office, the film was cut from its original 135 minutes to 128 minutes during its initial run.
I do have a 2 hour and 8 minute version, so I don't know where the hour and 45 minute version came from.
Maybe that's an edited. Maybe that's a fan edit or something like that.
I'll have to check. I don't know what's going on here.
That seems way too short, even for a theatrical.
Yeah, but all right, but 2 hour and 8 minutes is what I have, so we're definitely doing that. I don't know if the 2 hour and 40 minutes available. I haven't looked.
Then it says a reissue appeared in 1984. Oh, hold on. This is your copy. A reissue appeared in 1984 that was edited further to 106 minutes, released on video in 1980 and 1991. So
I've got.
So you have the re-edited version that came out in the 80s.
Right. And then the theatrical cut, which is the 2 hour and 8 minute version.
Right. But I remembered watching the 2 hour. I thought it was 2 hours 20 or 2 hours 17. I was only off by a couple of minutes because it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. So that cut is somewhere too.
I'm not sure. I'll have
copy
to wait until
the copy I have.
I'm not sure which version I saw as a kid.
I want to say that I saw at the very minimum, I saw the 2 hour and 8 minute version. Maybe I saw the extended one. I don't know. But
I mean, I
am fine with reviewing the 2 hour version.
Oh, no. Yeah. Yes. 2 hours and 8 minutes. Yes.
But I can do the hour and 46 minute version if you want.
No. Let's do the 2 hour and 8 minute theatrical cut. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Now that the confusion is taken care of, I should have checked that before I challenged you. But yeah, that's it. We're going to go down the Disney gravy train of endangered children.
Yeah.
With Pete's Dragon,
And unless Spin the Wheel picks another Disney film, I won't be doing that for the next film.
Okay.
Because I'm Disney'd out.
We've done a few Disney films in the past.
Yeah. Did a Disney movie, and then we're following it up with another one. Again, a film I loved as a kid, and I have not watched it as an adult.
I watched part of it last year, but I didn't finish it, so I'm going back again.
Yeah, I have not watched Pete's Dragon as an adult. I remembered loving this film, absolutely loving this film when I was a kid.
You know, when we after we review Pete's Dragon next week, we should have enough Disney films. I can start a playlist on YouTube, Disney-sucktastic.
Okay.
Of just Disney films. I like it.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm all for it.
All right. Yeah, and we've been beefing up our presence on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to it on YouTube, thanks and hello.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you. All right, well, let's end the fucking show. Bye.
All right, let's do that.
All right, everybody. As always, thank you again for listening to Moviesucktastic. We just reviewed Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Thank you for hanging out with us while we did that. You can go to our website at moviesucktastic.com and you can download the show, listen to the show. You can click on the YouTube link and you can go to the YouTube page and watch the show that we filmed for the review. So you can enjoy that. You can go to iTunes and you can listen to the show there. You can also go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/moviesucktastic, and you can see everything that we post, from our YouTube presence to trailers and anything else in the movie and entertainment industry that fancies us. You can also leave us a voicemail, 908-514-4470. If you want to leave us email, it's themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. Go to our website and fill out the form to send it to us, because just sending standard email doesn't work for some reason, and I have no fucking idea why. But we get emails through the website for some weird fucking reason. I don't get it. I had to learn Exchange Server when I was in college. Guess what? I never ended up having to ever use. Oh, it was Exchange Server. So I have no idea why this only works through the website and a direct email fails. I have no idea. But I'll play with it, as I always do. But that's how you would do that. The Movie Guys at moviesucktastic.com through the website. You can download our podcast player at moviesucktastic.com/mst.apk, or you can go to your Android or iPhone, Apple downloader, and you can download your favorite podcast player. And all you got to do is search for Moviesucktastic, and we come right up. Every single episode is there for you to listen to. And that's all I got. You have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson? You're moving around like you could hear the music. You can't, right?
I love that substitutionary locomotion, like that substitutionary locomotion. I didn't take a deep enough breath for substitutionariness. Substitutionary locomotion is for me.
Ha! All right. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week when we review Pete's Dragon.
Ciao.
Hey, ciao, Bella.
Ciao, Bella.
All right, everybody. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Bye. I just said ciao.